Hello people, this is Code Grind and in today's video we'll be creating another very interesting game using vanilla JavaScript. I have already created a stone, paper and scissors game in the past. If you want to learn how to create it, then click on the link above, or you can also go down in the description box for the link. Now the game which we'll be creating in this video is known as Whack-A-Mole. So when I click on play, you will see how this game works. So these moles start appearing from random holes, and when I hit the right mole, then our points will get increased. So like this. Oh, this is very hard. Yeah. So you see, whenever I hit on the right mole, our points are increasing, and when I click on stop, the game stops and the points go back to zero. So this is the project which we'll be working on today. It is a very interesting one, but definitely not a hard one. So let's get straight into it. So as usual, here I've got this basic layout ready. I have linked an external CSS file in which we'll be doing all the styling part. Now let's get started with our HTML part. So I'll have a div with a class of container. This div is what is gonna wrap all the things. Then our heading, which is just a brief description of what we'll be creating. So Whack-A-Mole game using vanilla JavaScript. Let's hit save. Yeah, we have got our heading over here. Now we need our score. So points, then inside the span we'll have our score. So by default the score will be 0. Yeah, this is it for the score. Now we'll have our 9 holes. Now we'll have a div with the class of holes cont, that stands for holes container, and inside this we'll have 9 different divs for 9 different holes. Each of these div will look something like this. So the first div will be div with the class hole1, then hole2, then hole3, like this. So I'm using emmet abbreviations here, which are short syntaxes for writing HTML. If you want to learn all about them, I can give a link in the description, and you can also click on the link above to watch my crash course on emmet abbreviations. So as I press enter, we have got these 9 divs. We don't need to enter any text in here. These are just gonna remain like this. Then we'll have a different buttons, one for play and then one for stop. So button with the class of play, which will have a text of play, and then button with a class of stop, which will have a text of stop. So this is our button here. Now we'll have our hammer, which will act as our cursor. So right now by default we have this arrow cursor, but we want a hammer in place of it. So for that I'll be using an image cursor. This will be inside a cursor div, then image. I already have this image. If I show it to you, yeah, this is the image. I'll give a link in the description from where you can download all the images which I will be using in this project. You don't need this alt. Let's hit save. So we have got our HTML part sorted out. Now let's get into styling. So for styling, let's begin by nullifying the browser's default settings: margin 0, padding 0, box sizing of border box, and a font family of Poppins. So I'll be using this Poppins font for the text. It is a very good font. If you want to use this font in your projects as well, then I will give a link in the description from where you can download it and install it in your systems. Now let's design our body. So we change its background color to something of a purple shade, 32046A. I have got it noted down. Yeah, this is the color which we'll be using. Color, text color of white. Yeah, this looks good. Then we'll align everything to the horizontal center. So for that, display flex and justify content of center. This is all sorted out. Now let's design our heading. So I'm going to increase the font size to 2M. It is a heading, it should look big. Then a top and bottom margin of 1M. Yeah, this is good. Then at last a text align of center, to center align it. Then we'll design our score. So increase its font to something like, let's say, 1.3M. Not too big, not too small. a margin top bottom of 1 em to this as well, and then a text align of center. Yeah, this is it for this core. Now we'll design our holes. Right now we don't see anything in place of the holes because there wasn't any text in it. There were just 9 divs without anything. So actually let's first design each and every hole. If you remember, I have given this class of hole to every div. So when I call this hole div, then that means we are selecting every 9 hole, each and every of those 9 holes. Then position of relative, because we will be positioning the mole which appears from the bottom in reference to these holes, so we'll need to provide it the position of relative, a height of 80 pixels, a width of 80 pixels as well. Now the values which I am using are actually, I have actually tested them, so it will be good if you use these values only. Otherwise you can always customize these. Then a border radius of 50%, this will make them round, and a background color of black. So we have got these 9 holes in here. And one last thing, overflow of hidden. Actually let's not put it right now. I will put it after I put the mole image, so that it will be clear why we are using overflow of hidden. Now we'll design our container which has wrapped all these holes inside it. So we'll get a display of grid, then grid template columns of repeat, so 3 columns each equal in length. Yeah, this is it. A grid gap of 1 em, and at last justify items, wrong spelling, justify items of center. So this is it for our 9 holes. Now what we need to do is we need to design our mole now. So for mole, what we will do is we will use another image inside every hole. So this is for the JavaScript part. I will not be getting it inside this part right now, but when we get into JavaScript part I will explain what I'm doing. Right now just let's keep it just up to this much only. This is our mole image and we'll give it a class of mole. Yeah, now we will design it. So dot mole, a position of absolute. Yeah, now right now we have it inside our first hole, position absolute, then a z index of 1 so that it sits on top of the hole, a height of 60 pixels. Actually let me show you the image, this image as well to you. So this is the image. I will give a link to this one as well. Yeah, a height of 60 pixels, then a bottom of 0 so that it's stuck to the bottom of the hole, a left of 50%, and a transform translate x of minus 50% to perfectly horizontally align it. Yeah, like this one. Now what we need to do now is give it an animation. So the animation will be appear. That means the name can be anything, but I have given it appear 0 for 0.3 seconds, which will be linear. So right now you see this, I gave it a bottom of 0 and it is appearing outside the hole. So that's why we need to give each and every hole overflow of hidden, so this doesn't come out of the hole, this image doesn't come out of the hole. And we need to give it a pointer events of none so that it isn't clickable. This is it for the designing of mole. Now let's define our keyframes appear, that is the animation for the mole. So from bottom of, let's say, minus 60 pixels. Why did I use minus 60 pixels? Because the height of it is 60 pixels, to a bottom of 0. So you see whenever I reload, this appears from the bottom. Now to watch whichever hole I give this image, let's remove the alt, copy this, and to whichever hole I give this image, now this mole will appear for that hole. Now let's remove this image from here. So this is it for designing our mole. Now let's design our buttons, a margin top of 3 em, yeah, and then our text align of center. Okay, this is good. Now we'll design each and every button, a padding of 15 pixels and 45 pixels to make it a bit spacious so that it doesn't look congested, and a background color of inherit so that it inherits the background color, a border of 1 pixel solid white, yeah, color of white as well, then border radius of say 3 pixels will be good. Okay, this is it. And one more thing which I forgot, outline of none. Now by default this stop button shouldn't be visible, button dot stop, so whichever button has the class stop, to that a display of none, so only the play button is visible now. Now this is it for the buttons. Now we will come to a very interesting part, which is designing this cursor image, which is this hammer image. So we'll select it by class cursor, then the image, the position of absolute to this because we will be moving it around our window, a height of 125 pixels, z index of 2 so that it sits on top of everything. Yeah, this is it for this. Now let's come to the JavaScript part. So we'll be doing our JavaScript at the end of the body tag in here. Now the first thing which we'll be doing is selecting everything. At first the score, so document dot query selector dot score span. So why did I select this span? Because our score is inside this span tag. Now we'll select our holes, each and every hole. So for that we'll be needing document.query selector all, because there are multiple of them. This will select each and every one of them. Then we'll select our play button, document.query selector. Dot buttons is the class for the div, and then inside that a button with the class of play, then with the class of stop, this will be our stop button, and then at last our cursor. Dot cursor image. Yeah, so these are all for our selections. Now this JavaScript is divided into different segments. The first one will be positioning this hammer in place of the cursor. So instead of this arrow cursor, we'll have the hammer as our cursor. And then the second part will be when we click on the play button, the game should start. Then we need to increase the points if the hit is correct. Then on the clicking event of the stop button, we need to stop the game. So these are the different segments of our JavaScript part. Now let's get into it. So first, for positioning it with the cursor, positioning this hammer, mouse move. So window.add event listener mouse move. What this will do is whenever the mouse is moved in the window, this function will run, and we will pass an event. Now what this event has, let's see that. So let's first go to our inspect element. So in here in the inspect element, you see we have already got these console logs. Let's remove them. Now whenever I move my mouse around this window, we get these console logs. So this is this console log, the event. Now what we need from it is, let's select any one of them. So here you see we have got different properties. The property which we need is this one, this is page X and page Y. So page Y is the position of the cursor from the top of the window, and page X is the position of the cursor from the left of the window, and these both values are in pixels. So we will be taking these two values. Now we'll have our cursor dot style dot top. This will be e dot page Y. So the position of the cursor from the top is page Y, so we will give that to the cursor, and then a cursor dot style dot left, oh not at event listener, e dot page x. Now let's see whether it's working or not. No, it isn't working. So why is that? Let's see. Yeah, I forgot to add the pixels over here. This is a must. Without the unit this won't work at all. So now you see this hammer is moving along with our cursor, but there is a slight lag, or we can call it difference in styling, that we want this cursor to be on the base of the hammer. So for that we need to go back to our styling part, and in here we need to give it a transform translate of -10 pixels comma -40 pixels. So as I said, I have already tested these values. Now this cursor is along with our this hammer's base. Now whenever I move it along any button, we see that we can't click on this button and we can not select this heading as well. So why is that? Because this image is obstructing the path between the cursor and the text. So for that we need to give this image a pointer events of none. Now when I hover, now we can select this text, we can click on the button and we can do all sorts of things. Now this image won't be an obstruction. Now to the asterisk we need to give it a cursor of none so that the arrow isn't visible. Yeah, now this is it for designing our hammer. Actually positioning our hammer, designing part is still left a bit. What we need to do is whenever I click, this hit effect should look like, so the hammer should move so it feels like the hammer is hitting something. So in here window dot add event listener, click. So whenever the window is clicked on, we will run a function. Now what this function will do is it will add an animation to the cursor. So cursor dot style dot animation, the animation name will be hit for 0.1 seconds ease. Let's go to the index.css and define this animation now. So add keyframes, the name was hit from transform rotate of 0 degrees to a rotate of minus, oh not rotate, transform rotate of -30 degrees. Let's hit save. Now when I click this hammer, when I reload, when I click, this hammer animates such that it is hitting something, but this animation works only once. Now when I am clicking, it isn't working again and again. So this is only a one-time thing. Now to make it multiple times, what we need to do is we need to remove this animation after it has completed once. So set timeout, the animation takes part for 0.1 seconds. So after 0.1 seconds we need to remove this animation. So what this will do is the set timeout function, after 100 milliseconds, that is for after 0.1 seconds, we will simply remove this animation by cursor dot style dot remove property animation. So now when I click on here, it is getting this animation multiple times. So now this won't be a problem and it is working fine. So our first segment of this project is completed. Now let's move to the next segment. So to begin with the second segment of the JavaScript part, it should start with when we click on the play button. So play button dot add event listener, click, and the first thing after this which we want to do is that hide this play button and display the stop button. So play button dot style dot display is equal to none. So this will hide the play button, and then stop button dot style dot display is equal to inline block. So when I click on play button, the stop button isn't displayed. Oh, this B should be capital over here. Let's reload it, and now when I click on play, the stop button gets displayed and the play button is hidden. Now we need to start our game. So let me create some variables. Why have I created this whole variable? I will tell you about it later in the program. And now this will be points is equal to 0. This will store our total number of points. Now we will run a function. Its name will be const start game. This will be a set interval function. So let me first write the code, then I will explain to you what this set interval actually is. Now here I specified time, which is 700, so that is equal to 0.7 seconds. So after every 0.7 seconds this function will call itself, so we don't need to call it manually. It will automatically call itself after 700 seconds until we stop it. So it will run for infinite number of times until we stop it. Now in here we need to select random hole. So one by one the program will select one hole at a time and will display the mole for that particular hole. So to select a random hole we need to write a few codes, a few line of codes. So array, here I will have an array for 8 numbers. Yeah, now this 7 I've repeated it. So I'll have these 8 numbers. These are actually for each hole. So 0 for the first hole, 1 for the second, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now why haven't I started it from 1 to 9? That's because arrays work from 0 to 8. They start from 0 and they run up to n minus 1 number of times. So here these const holes, this has all our 9 holes, and we can select the first hole by holes, which is this array over here. And if I write 1, that means we will get the second hole, because it starts from 0, that means 1 means the second hole. If I write 8, this will give us the ninth hole. So we need to select a random hole. So for that we need to select a random number from here. So for that what we will do is, actually we don't need this array. Let's remove this array. We just need to generate a random number. So let array number, this will generate a random number, math dot floor math dot random into 9. So this will generate a random number between 0 and 8. And now in this whole variable, so this is the use of this whole variable. In this whole variable we will have holes of array number. So let's just console.log this to make it clear what actually this variable hole has in it. And now when I go to the inspect element, you see when I click on the play button, we get hole 2, hole 4, hole 6, 2, 7, 4, 6, 2, 7, 9, 9, 7. So it generates a random number and it selects the hole on the basis of it. Now it will run infinite number of times, as I told you, until we stop it. So we need to stop it only when this stop button is clicked on. So to stop it, what we will do is, moving outside of the set interval function. Now when this stop button is clicked, then we need to stop this function. So to stop a set interval function, we have another function known as clear interval, and in here we will write the name of the set interval function, which is start game. So this will stop the function. Now let's see, go to the inspect element. When I click on play, it starts console logging the random holes, and now when I click on stop, it stops console logging. So this play and stop is working fine. But now after clicking on this stop, what we also need to do is display this play button back and hide the stop button. So stop button display will be none and the play buttons display will be inline block. Let's reload it, play. When I click on stop, this goes back to play. So now this is it for this part. Now what we need to do is, as you might remember, we actually had an image with the class of mole. So whatever hole we select, we need to insert this image tag inside that hole to generate this mole effect, this to make this mole appear in that hole. So to insert this image inside the hole we select, there are another lines of code. Now first we need to create this image. So to create it using JavaScript, we need to create document.create element. Whatever the image we are creating, we will store it in this image variable. We are creating an img tag, and then we will be giving it a source. So for that, image dot set attribute, the attribute name is source, and its value will be dot slash mol dot png. Then we'll have to give it a class as well. So class, and the class name is mol. Now we need to insert this. We have created this image tag successfully, but now we need to insert it inside this selected random hole. So for that, hole dot append child this image. Now when I click on play, these moles appear in the selected random holes, but there is still an issue. We need to remove these moles once their use is completed. So you might remember that this appearing is actually not for the styling. This whole set interval is running, calling itself after 0.7 seconds, so we need to remove it after. We'll select set timeout function, and after 600 milliseconds, that is 0.6 seconds, we will remove this image. So this should be here. So we inserted this image with hole.append child, and we will remove this image by hole.remove child. Let's hit save, and now let's run this function. So you see the moles get appeared in the selected random hole, and they get removed after 0.6 seconds. Now we can't make these two values equal because it will generate an error, and let's see what that error is like. So when I go to F12 and I reload it, click on play, so you see we get this error, failed to execute remove child. So if you put these two times equal, then it will fail to remove this child, of image. So we need to make it less than the value which we have put here. So be on a safer side, we put it as 600. So our image is working fine. Now we need to make a function which will increase our points if we hit on the right hole. So to achieve that functionality, what we need to do is, first we need to get the part on which we are clicking. So if I click on this heading, we should get in return that we have clicked on it, on this heading. So actually let me first write it so it will be much clearer. Now before we have removed it in here, actually let's not do it here, after the set interval function. So over here, now whenever I click on the window, that means anywhere on this window, I will pass an event, and I will console.log e.target. So what this will give me is, here I have this heading in the p tag. So if I click on the heading over here in the console log, we will get that p tag. Let's go to the F12, that means the inspect element. So now if I click on this heading, we should get it. Oh, first we need to click on play. So you see we get this button play because we clicked on it. Now if I click on heading, we get this p tag. If I click on the score, we get this div with the class score. If I click on the fifth hole, we get it. If I click on the sixth hole, the eighth hole, I get this one. So this is the use of e.target. It tells us where we have clicked on. Now we need to match it with our random hole. So if event.target is equal to the selected hole, this one, the random selected hole, then we need to increase the points. So score dot inner text is equal to plus points. So this will change the inner text of this score, which is 0 currently, and this will, here the points value, the value of points is 0 by default. First it will increase its value, then it will change the inner text of the score. Now let's hit save and see. click on play, it starts playing. If I click on the wrong hole, the points don't get changed. If I click on the right hole, like this one, the points get increased. So you see, this is working completely fine. So this is how you can achieve, how can use this e.target property of the window. Now let's reload it and play it again, and there is still one thing left. Now when I click on stop, the game stops playing. This is working fine, but we also need to reset the points. So to reset the points, what we need to do is score dot inner text, we just need to put it 0. Now when I click on play, our points are increasing as we click on the right hole, and when I click on stop, the points reset to 0, the button changes to play, and now I can play it again. So this is how you can create a whack-a-mole game using vanilla JavaScript. Now if you have any queries related to this game, then drop a comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want more such amazing tutorials on CSS and JavaScript. And thank you for watching.